There comes a moment in every person's life when the noise quiets, so when all the distractions fall away and you're left with just yourself, your choices, and the silence of consequence. That moment, however fleeting, is truth. And in that truth, you'll face the only real question that ever mattered. Are you living by design or by default? Most people drift. They obey their impulses, react to circumstances, and call it living. They get blown by the winds of opinion, of comfort, of fear. And then one day they look around, disillusioned, wondering how they ended up so far from the life they once imagined. But that life, that powerful, meaningful, peaceful life isn't gone. It isn't lost. It's simply unclaimed. And to claim it, you must become something different. Not lucky, not reckless, but strategic. Strategic thinking is not just for generals or CEOs. It is the quiet discipline of the individual who refuses to live blindly. It is for those who no longer wish to be spectators in their own lives. You must become a strategist of your soul. Emotional power must serve reason and clarity. In the journey of life, emotions are the winds that fill our sails, propelling us forward with passion and intensity. Yet, without the rudder of reason and the compass of clarity, these same winds can lead us astray, causing us to drift aimlessly or crash upon unseen rocks. To create the life we desire, we must harness our emotional energy, channeling it through the lens of strategic thinking to ensure our actions align with our true purpose and values. Emotions, in their raw form, are neither good nor bad. They are signals, indicators of our inner state and our perception of the world around us. Joy can inspire us to share and connect, while fear can alert us to potential dangers. However, when emotions dominate our decision-making without the guidance of reason, they can lead to impulsive actions and unintended consequences. Consider the individual who, in a fit of anger, utters words that damage a cherished relationship. In that moment, the emotion overrides reason, and clarity is lost. Later, with a calmer mind, the regret sets in, and the realization dawns that a momentary lapse in control has led to lasting harm. This scenario underscores the importance of pausing, reflecting, and allowing reason to temper our emotional responses. Strategic thinking involves anticipating outcomes, evaluating options, and making decisions that align with our long-term goals. When we integrate our emotional insights into this process, we enrich our understanding and enhance our ability to navigate complex situations. For instance, feeling a sense of dissatisfaction in our current job may signal a misalignment with our values or aspirations. By acknowledging this emotion and examining its roots through a strategic lens, we can identify actionable steps toward a more fulfilling career path. Moreover, emotions can serve as powerful motivators when directed appropriately. The passion that fuels an artist's creativity or the empathy that drives a humanitarian's efforts are examples of emotions serving a higher purpose. By aligning our emotional energy with our strategic objectives, we can sustain our efforts and overcome obstacles with resilience and determination. However, this alignment requires self-awareness and discipline. It involves recognizing when our emotions are clouding our judgment and taking deliberate steps to regain clarity. Techniques such as mindfulness, journaling, and seeking counsel from trusted advisors can aid in this process, allowing us to process our emotions constructively and maintain focus on our goals. In essence, emotions are integral to our human experience, offering depth and richness to our lives. Yet, to create the life we truly desire, we must ensure that our emotional power serves reason and clarity. By doing so, we harness the full spectrum of our capabilities, making decisions that are both heartfelt and wise, and steering our lives toward meaningful and fulfilling destinations. No external blame, only internal mastery. There is a force that slowly corrodes ambition, weakens resilience, and paralyzes potential. It is not failure. It is not rejection. It is blame, specifically, the habit of looking outward when things go wrong. The moment we attribute our misfortunes to someone else, the economy, society, or fate, we surrender the most essential truth, that we are in control of our response, and thus, ultimately, our path. To create the life you want, you must shift all attention inward, not with guilt or shame, but with radical ownership. You must become the master of yourself, because the world will not bend to your preferences, but you can bend yourself to rise above its chaos. The world is filled with unfairness. You will be overlooked. You will be disrespected. You will be treated unjustly. But if your success or peace of mind depends on the fairness of others, you will be forever trapped in resentment and helplessness. Strategic living means seeing the world as it is, not as you wish it to be, and then making moves based on that clear-eyed perception. The external may be uncontrollable, but mastery lies in your internal reactions. You do not need the world to cooperate, you need only to govern yourself wisely within it. Blame is the easy path. It comforts the ego. It tells a soothing story. It's not your fault. But discomfort comes at a cost. The more you indulge in it, the more powerless you become. Responsibility, on the other hand, is harder to bear but infinitely more empowering. When you say, I am where I am because of what I've done, or fail to do, you open the door to change. You begin to reclaim your agency. This isn't about fault, it's about power. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you gain full control over your future. Internal mastery begins with awareness. You must examine your habits, your choices, your beliefs. Where are they leading you? Are they aligned with the vision you have for your life? You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Begin with yourself and not with the intention to condemn, but to understand. Why do you procrastinate? Why do you react with anger? Why do you repeat the same patterns in your relationships, your work, your health? Every answer lies within. Every solution starts there. There is a temptation to wait for the right opportunity, to wait for others to change, to wait for the perfect time. But the disciplined strategist does not wait. He moves. She adapts. They execute, because they know the clock is ticking, and no one is coming to save them. The longer you wait for conditions to be ideal, the more life slips through your fingers. Internal mastery means acting decisively even in uncertainty, because your commitment is not to comfort but to progress. Pain is not the enemy. Discomfort is not the enemy. The true enemy is stagnation. It is the refusal to confront the discomfort that leads to growth. When things fall apart, when people betray you, when nothing goes according to plan, you must ask, what can I control here? What is within my reach? Sometimes, the only answer is your attitude. Sometimes, it's your effort. Sometimes, it's your willingness to start again, with more wisdom than before. But there is always something you can do. Internal mastery means finding that, and doing it relentlessly. It is not easy. Mastery never is. You will fail. You will regress. You will forget and fall into blame again. But the one who is committed returns to discipline every time. They do not indulge in victimhood, even when it is justified. They refuse to let external chaos govern their internal peace. That peace is guarded not by the absence of hardship, but by the presence of principle. And the first principle of the strategic thinker is this: I am responsible for me. We live in a culture that encourages outrage, that feeds on blame, that makes a spectacle out of grievance. But if you want to rise above the noise, you must tune it out. You must look in the mirror and make a quiet, fierce commitment. No more excuses, no more stories, only action, only growth. You do not need permission to change. You do not need applause. You need only to get to work out on yourself, even when you are right to be angry, even when others are clearly in the wrong. Even then, especially then, you must choose mastery over reaction, because every moment you waste in anger is a moment you could have spent building. Every ounce of energy spent blaming is energy you could have used to improve. Let the world be what it is. Let others behave as they will. Your focus is not on controlling to aim up, it is on commanding yourself. You must become the architect of your inner fortress. Build walls of discipline. Lay foundations of self-respect. Fortify the gates with resilience. The storms will come, but if you have mastered yourself, you will not be shaken. The most dangerous storms are the ones that rage within fear, insecurity, doubt, resentment. Master them, and no external force can move you. Internal mastery also means accepting your past without being ruled by it. You cannot change what has happened, but you can change how you interpret it, what you learn from it, and how you respond moving forward. Every regret is a lesson. Every mistake is a training ground. Use them. Don't dwell, adapt. A strategist does not weep over broken plans. He revises. She recalibrates. They continue. The most powerful people in the world are not those with the most resources or connections. They are the ones with the greatest self-command. When you control your thoughts, your emotions, Your habits you control your outcomes. The world may present chaos, but your response remains yours. Choose it wisely. If you build your life on the shifting sands of circumstance and approval, you will be tossed around endlessly. But if you build it on the solid ground of internal discipline, no storm can destroy you. This is your task. This is your power. Do not seek to control the world. Seek to command yourself. In that command lies your freedom, your strength, your destiny. The moment you stop waiting for others to change, for things to get easier, for luck to strike, here is the moment you begin. The beginning is not out there, it's in you, and it always has been. While the speech must be emotionally engaging, its emotional power should always serve disciplined thought, self-mastery, and strategic clarity. Emotions are not suppressed, but they are harnessed to use to drive home the urgency of strategic living. Every emotional point should lead to a rational action or shift in perspective, not vague inspiration.